Hello everybody, Iain Robson here, and welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. So today I am doing something a little different. I thought I'd give it a go. I am actually playing on the multiplayer server. I am on what is it? What would it be? Europe 1. And we're gonna go ahead. I already have a trailer picked up. And we're going to go ahead and take this. So it's just a short little journey. But I thought I'd give it a go. Play around with that a little bit. It is a little different than what I would normally do, because normally I play single player. But I was just thinking about something, so I was like, oh, let's give this a go. So here we are. Here we go. As you can see, we have a digger. And apparently there's some other guy with the same digger. And it always helps when you take off your parking brake, apparently. There we go. Alright, so I haven't played Euro Truck. I played Euro Truck a little bit lately, but I haven't played multiplayer in a little while, so let's bring up the appropriate information, because I have no idea where I'm going. Ah, that makes sense. Okay, so this is we're actually in England right now, so I have to be careful because everything's on the wrong side of the road for me. The incorrect way for those people who don't drive properly and all that jazz. Nah, I'm just kidding. Although it is awfully strange. It always throws me off. If I were to ever drive to England, I think I would have the hardest time. I would take a cab everywhere. Oh, let that guy go. He wants to drive faster than I do, apparently. So, one thing that's really different in the multiplayer is that you're dealing with other people as opposed to the AI. So you run into problems with people as opposed to the AI, and sometimes the differences are not as big as you think sometimes. Because what happens is people will do silly things. You know, they're trying to have fun, or what they consider fun, I guess. So they're trying to do something different than you are. Now that can be a problem sometimes. Specifically, when you run into problems where you're in like a town or something like that, and you want to make a turn and people don't let you in. Just like the AI does sometimes, so. It changes all the time. Now this is EU1, so the rules associated on EU1 I think are a little different than the rules on the other servers. I think this one is they cap the speed, so like, can I go faster than this? I think they cap the speed in town at 60, I want to say it is. Let's find out real quick here. Yeah, so 60 is as fast as you can go in town. And so they do cap the top speed in town and out of town. They change it to, I think, out of town, I think it's 100. Which is good because, you know, it prevents... Well, it doesn't really prevent accidents. People still do silly things. And you still run into people who are speeding and whatnot, so... Oh, this truck is so quiet. It's so, like, in comparison to my Peterbilt, it's so quiet. But yeah, I thought I'd hop on the server, record a little episode, and for those people who are asking, yes, those are real people. That's why they're honking at me. It's not like they're not what am I thinking? AI. Oh, let's take a downshift here. The exhaust brake is not nearly as exciting on this truck. I always forget, like, I don't know if that's I don't know if it's an American thing to have a loud engine brake or if it's just a style of engine. I don't know for certain because I'm not a trucker. If you're a trucker, let me know. Why does it sound different, I guess, is what I'm trying to ask, in like an American truck versus a European truck. I think it's partially to do with the standards that they hold, and that's why it sounds a bit different as well. I'm just guessing though, so. Alright, we're on the M6. I had to look there, I'm like, it's the M something, it's in United Kingdom, or say England specifically. So, they have M. I guess M stands for motorway, I suppose. I don't know if that's actually true or not, though. I suppose it does. In French, they would say autoroute, I think, is what they would say. For those people who speak French. So, where we're heading with this is we're heading to Calais, I think it is. Let's check real quick. Destination Calais, yeah. So we're just going, basically we're just going across the channel, so to speak, over to France, and put it over there. Now, the one problem you're going to run into is the fact that if you decide to go through any sort of oops, I don't want to go in reverse. If you decide to go to any of the ports, you're going to run into not problems, but a lot more people, because it's a central hub. You're going to run into a lot of people trying to get through that area, so keep that in mind. So it does create problems at times. Let's go in the center lane here. Whoa, speeding offense, really? Okay. I can't afford speeding offenses. If you're paying attention to the amount of money I have minus 10,000. So I repaired my car, and because of that, I went in the hole, basically. So I haven't done that in a long time. Oh, this is our turn up here. Hopefully no one's coming down that ramp. And what you can do in here is you can actually report people and whatnot. And some people are very vigilant when it comes to reporting. So if you are, if you don't follow the rules, I guess is what I'm trying to say, you could get booted from the server. And that has happened to me once. I was not adhering to the rules of the road, so to speak. So that led to a kick. It was my own fault. What happened was I was trying to make an exit, and oops, wrong gear again. I was trying to make an exit, and I missed it. And then I started backing up on the highway. Not a good idea. People didn't appreciate that too much. They're like, they reported my number or whatever. Because the way it works with the like the reporting and whatnot, you just report the number as opposed to the title of the person or the person's name. So it makes your life a little bit easier. At least it's supposed to. So I don't know. I know a lot of people host convoys and whatnot, but I don't know. I tried to do a convoy once, but I was just, I can't. I don't know. What was this? I think I was streaming that time too. And what happened was I don't know. I can't stream for very long, and convoys seem to get better as time goes on because more people will join and whatnot. So that's what it seems like. Whenever I streamed, I only ever stream for 2 hours. Usually, is about the maximum. Usually after that point, I get A, or tired, or B, my voice starts to get a little scratchy, so I stop for my own sake. Mainly because my job requires me to speak often, so if I can't speak, I can't do my job, which means the bills don't get paid and all that jazz, so I'm sure you understand. Alright, so coming up to our exit, I'm fairly certain, and there's the guy who we were following before. Now we're behind him. I don't know what the question mark beside it says. Tom Slava. Maybe he just has a truck that's not quite as powerful as ours. Give him a little honk there. Don't know if he appreciates that or not. We actually did 107. Oh, that's actually a bit faster than I. Maybe the speed isn't capped here. Maybe it's at 110. It's capped. Let's bring that out. Oh, we're still got a ways to go. So, yeah, this is EU1. I don't have a tutorial on how to get the multiplayer set up or anything, but there are a ton out there. I don't play very often. I don't play the multiplayer servers very often. That's probably why I don't have a tutorial up. But if you search for, like, Squirrel has one, for example. If you search for Squirrel plus multiplayer setup, he'll be able to hook you up. And I think Sergeant Pepper, I think his name is like XX Sergeant Pepper XX, something like that. He also has a tutorial on his channel, so, and he regularly does convoys actually. I think he does convoys every Friday, I want to say. I can't remember his schedule. And he's also Canadian, so that's kind of cool. Let's put the lights on. There we go. Hey, lights. What time is it? Almost 8 o'clock. Alright. So, this is a relatively short journey. I think most of this journey is actually done on the ferry, if memory serves. I think we have... I think it's like 200 kilometers on the road. Something like that. So in the end, it's actually not a crazy long time. Why am I doing this? I could totally just put my cruise control on. I need to change my information though. There we go. Take it down to 100. Cruise at a nice speed. I got my pedal, the pedal to the metal. I'm like, why am I going so fast? Why am I not paying attention to other things? Because I'm not on cruise control. Anyways, one little fact. I rent cars often because I don't have a car, and often one of the things when you have a new car or a car is you have to decide or discover where the gas tank or where the gas tank is, or the input for the gas. And if you look on a car, you'll notice that by the... here's our exit up here. By the actual... where the fuel indicator is, it'll actually have a little arrow beside it. And on the arrow, that basically indicates which side the gas tank is on, which is kind of cool. So every time we rent a car, it's easy to... you have to look at that, and it tells you where it is. I don't know, it's one of those things you don't... if you own a car, you don't pay attention to it because you just know. But when you don't use the same car every single time, it's a little tidbit of information that's very helpful. Because you need to know where to fuel up your car, basically. So you get to that awkward time where you're at the gas station, you're like, which side do we fill up on? And then you got kind of like, you look in your rear view mirrors if you don't know about that little arrow, and you're like, which side is it on? And then eventually you get out of the car, you go on the wrong side. Every now and then you get the person who pulls up on the wrong side of the gas tank, and then what happens is they pull the cord over to the other side of their car. Oh, that's always funny to see that. Guess we can upshift now. That would probably help. Hey, there's that same guy. It's funny, the sounds on this truck aren't as they seem like lackluster in comparison to some of the modded ones, actually. Maybe that's the way it is in real life, though. So I don't know for certain because I don't drive a truck, and I've never driven a Scania. You don't see here in Canada. We don't see, well, I should say Ontario specifically, and from like in the cities, I don't see many Scanias. I see a lot of Peterbilts, a lot of Westerns, a lot of Kenworths, but I don't see many Scanias. I do see a Isuzu sometimes, and I do see a lot of Volvos as well. It just depends on what you're looking for. A lot of delivery trucks are, what are they? Oh goodness, I think that's not a Isuzu. Maybe it's Volvo. I can't remember. Anyways, what I was thinking about is maybe doing hopping on the EU server later on, and if people want to join me, we can do that. Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. I probably won't live stream it, because when I live streamed and played on the multiplayer server last time, it didn't work. It was a little choppy, and it wasn't the most beautiful thing to look at. So well, it's good to go. It wasn't the most beautiful thing to look at, so give him a little honk. Also, one of the interesting little facts is if you look at people's names when they honk, you actually see them. You actually see a little sign. Ooh, loan installment. Oh, that's not good. So we paid the loan, but we went into debt. Even more so now. Yikes, that's not good. You can tell I haven't played very much in this game, that's for sure. Actually, it's funny, when I was trying to drive the truck before, what was happening was I had like malfunctions and all that. It's like, engine malfunction. I'm like, uh-oh. Put the high beams on, sure, why not? No one's gonna know. I don't think you get a high beam offense. which would be interesting because you do get one of those in real life. A lot of people don't realize. But if you are, I think if you drive past a cop, at least in Ontario, it might be different in different provinces. If you have your high beams on, you drive past a cop, and he's feeling really like he really wants to uphold the law, you'll actually get a ticket for that. I don't think it happens very often, but it can from time to time. All right, here's our little spot right here. Off ramp coming up. Downshift into 10 or 9, I should say. There we go. Probably don't need to downshift that much, actually, now that I think about it. Interesting little fact. Let me know if it's different in your state, because this will, I know it applies to Canada, but let me know if it's the same in the States. But depending where you live in Canada, so if you live in like I don't know, where's a good place? Ottawa, for example, maybe, which is close to Quebec, or if you live in what's that place? Deer? Is it Deer River? No. Anyway, anywhere close to a bordering province, basically. What used to be the case was if you bought alcohol in, let's say, Quebec, and transported it into Ontario, that was actually illegal for a long time. And it still is illegal, technically. And it was illegal because of prohibition and whatnot back in the day. As far as I know, I'm not a historian, so if you want the real skinny on it, you look it up, but this is to the best of my memory, at least. So it was illegal to transport alcohol from one province to another. And the interesting fact was it's still technically illegal. So if you go into Quebec and buy alcohol and bring it back into Ontario, you're technically breaking the law. And it kind of goes with that high beams thing where they don't really enforce it very much, but at one time it really was enforced because of the laws associated with prohibition and whatnot. So really interesting stuff when you find out some of the history behind that. And there actually are some really cool places you can visit. I'm sure it's the same in the States, where you can visit areas where prohibition was prominent and there was like rum running and all that kind of jazz. Really cool little history there. And yeah, a little tidbit of information for you. Go out of this lane here. There's like no one on the road. Must be, maybe it's the time of the day. Like technically in my time, what is this my time? Like 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m., something like that. I can't see my watch. Yeah, 6:30. It's 6:30 a.m. right now. I don't know what EU. This would be. It's a Monday, so I'm assuming most people are at work. For the people who do work. So, 1 sec, coffee break. Lovely coffee. I love it when I make strong coffee in the morning, especially on a Monday morning. It just sets the day off right. All right, here's our off ramp coming up here, so I guess we're gonna have to slow down a little bit. Yeah, let me know if you're from one of the states or province, for that matter, where not rum running, but prohibition was very prominent, and there's lots of history associated with it. Let me know. I'd be curious to hear some of that. Because there are lots of places. Ooh, sun in the eyes. I'm going to turn left here. Go to Dover. Let's downshift again. And just ease out of this intersection. Those mirrors actually make it harder to see. Well, out that window at least. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, let me know. I'd be kind of curious, actually. I'm assuming places, northern states, like New York, for example, they probably have a fairly large history in general, but also when it comes to rum running and all that jazz. And I think it's primarily because it's close to Canada. And I believe back in the day, there was a lot of business, quote unquote, done between Canada and the United States in relation to that time. So lots of interesting history out there. Like I said, I'm not a historian by any means, but when when I find little tidbits of information like that, I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. Also, random other tidbit of information. There is a potato museum in Prince Edward Island. So if you ever go to Prince Edward Island, check out the Potato Museum. It's pretty cool, actually. I believe they make reference to... oops, I don't want to go that fast. I believe they make reference to Ireland during the Great Potato Famine, for example. And they also talk about potatoes and why they're red in PEI and all that jazz. Pretty cool stuff, actually. If you're into potatoes, I suppose. Actually, my father-in-law was mentioning the other day, he's like, Ian, we should get you down so we can get a video of potato harvester running. And I was like, that would be awesome. But, unfortunately, we're at the mercy of the weather and my work schedule, so it makes it a bit more interesting. I can't just get up and leave and be like, oh yeah, I'll come right down right now, but it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. If I lived closer to them, then maybe, but I don't. Yeah, that's one of the things I'd like to do at some point. Eventually move closer to the family and whatnot. Like where I live right now, I'm basically like 400 kilometers away from most of all my family and all my wife's family, basically, so we're kind of off the beaten path a little bit. Straight. We're off the beaten path here, at least. Well, we aren't. Well, we weren't always, but nowadays we are kind of far away from everybody, so it's unfortunate, but it's the way it goes. Alright, so we're coming up on our destination, I think. Or at least, oh no, maybe we're not. Oh yeah, there we are. Let's go back to this one right here. Yeah, I like going back to how busy the roads are, which is not busy at all. I'm actually really surprised. And like I said, I think it's something to do with just the time of day I'm recording this, because normally the roads are fairly busy. And I think once we get up to the port, I suspect that it'll be a bit busier, but I don't know for certain. So it's been a long time since I've been alright, it's been a long time since I've been to the port, so. Alright, so here we are coming up to the port right here, trying to not speed through here, because I can't really afford to get too many more or any tickets really. When you're in the hole this much, you kind of need to be aware of how much money is going out for things like tickets and whatnot. So alright, so here we are, Dover. If you live in England and you've been to the Dover port, does it look like this? Let me know. I'm definitely not from England, so I have no idea. Alright, here we are, to the ferries. I believe this is where we want to go then. I have entered the non-collision zone. Excellent. I'm going to go this way. And just downshift again, take it nice and slow. It's a non-collision area technically, so it doesn't make a difference, but look at that, there's nobody in here. I hope this is the right place though. I don't see the little thing though. Oh, it's on the other side. Seriously? What are the chances of that? This is gonna make my life a little bit more interesting. Just a little bit more interesting, right? Why don't they have one on each side? That makes no sense. How did I not even see that though? That's what I'm curious about. Alright, that's probably enough. Let's get back into third here. There we go. And take a nice wide turn so we don't clip the side. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, normally this place is just teeming with people. Neutral, park, enter. We want to go to Calais, please. It's only 1 hour. Oh, okay. You left the city. Well, thank you. I just apparently haven't been to Calais. I'm not surprised, honestly. Hey, apparently we made some money. Yeah, that's random. Yeah, we definitely made some money. I was like, we must have drivers that are out and about. I don't even remember. I haven't played this. So it's funny, I have like two different profiles. I have like my multiplayer profile, and then I have like my single player profile. And I have no idea how many drivers I have on this one. On my single player, I know I have like a very large amount of drivers. I don't think I have the maximum quite yet. Yeah, there's nobody here. This is very rare. Look at this. And we're in France, so we're on the other side of the road now. 50. I think they actually made the collision zones just a bit bigger, actually. Well, it seems that way, at least. I don't know. I'd have to double check that now. Alright, where are we here? Oh, our turn's right here. Oh, slow down. Man, I was looking around this morning in multiplayer, and I was looking at all the different, just kind of cruising around, and I got stopped at a light, and I'm like, why is this light taking forever? And it seriously took a long time. Like, I don't know how long this is. I'm gonna grab a quick little sip of my coffee while we're waiting for this light to change. It's still red. Holy cow. I wonder if I can, do they have a log or something? I can't remember. No, they don't have any kind of log information. Oh, there we go. I was just curious so I could see which drivers brought some money in. Someone pointed out the fact the other day that Iain, this isn't me quoting them, saying like, I'll put it in their voice, saying, Iain, you don't normally need to start in first gear. So, there's a little bit of lag there. I suspect there's people around here somewhere. Anyways, they were saying don't need to start in first gear, so I generally don't. I don't know why I end up starting in first gear half the time, but there's somebody. I don't know if they're honking the horn at me, but looks like he's from Australia. Oops, that was a bad turn. Alright, we're going up to the lights and we're turning left. See? Let's watch this guy here. And that's why you need to be careful on multiplayer servers. Because that happens often. People doing crazy things like that. Oh, look, it's green for us now. Probably don't need to be in 9th gear to start off. And because we are playing multiplayer, you have to be careful of other people on the road as well. Because, like my father-in-law always says, watch out for the other guy. It's usually not your problem. It's usually going to be the other person that creates the problem. No one's there. This is good. Take the turn a bit wider then. Nice. And I don't think this is a non-collision area quite yet, but it's coming up right here. Perfect. Is anybody there? See, the problem you have to run into sometimes is what happens is people are trying to park and they get stuck kind of like in a central area. So if I drive in here and there's people around and I'm half in, half out of the non-collision area, it can create a big problem. So like, this is one of the interesting aspects of the multiplayer. You have to park your trailer. I think, can I run to these? Oh, sweet. You have to park your trailer. I don't know why that's why you can't have the automatic thing, but I think it's mostly for calculation reasons, because if you were to have it, that's a lot of lights, buddy. Sheesh. I think because if you were to have it set up so you do, so the server does all the calculations, you would need just a ridiculous server. Also, if you've never done this in multiplayer, it's much easier to do it when you're out of the cab like this. Because watch, if you're in the cab, right now it's not so bad, but usually you can't even see anything. Where am I going here? Usually you can't see anything because there's just like a plethora of trucks around you. Ooh, I have to be careful here. Yeah, usually there's a plethora of trucks around you, and it makes your life just a nightmare trying to deal with all of the trucks all at once. Because what happens is you will be like inside your truck trying to park, but all you'll see is like all the other trucks basically. I don't know what that guy's problem is, but he's honking his horn hard. Oh, stop. Nice. Satisfactory. What? 2,000. Hey, are we actually in the green now? We're an enthusiast now. Sweet. Long distance. We don't need any more long distance ones. We need some... Let's go with high value. Sure, why not? Or should we go with just in time? We'll go with high value, sure. Perfect. Let's get out of here. Put the parking brake on. Alright folks, that'll be it for me for today. That has been another Euro Truck Simulator episode, but this one's been on the multiplayer server on E1. Hope you've enjoyed yourself. My name's Iain Robson, Euro Truck once again, and if you enjoyed yourself, why don't you go ahead and hit that share button. I really appreciate that. Catch you guys later.